All right, then, welcome back. It's time for us to take a quick look at what's happening on the covers of the dailies this morning. And we have quite a few papers with us today, don't we, Mike?
Yeah, we do.
We do. We have the Vanguard, we have the Punch, we have the Nation, and the Daily Independent. Let's begin with the Vanguard, shall we? It says here, controversy as manufacturers reject NBS inflation figure. Page 20 has more information on that. However, it says here inflation is 34.19% in June, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. And no, it's over 90, says Nasima. And it beats all analysis forecasts, apparently, that have been given previously. Now, the federal government, World Bank plan 3.5 million electricity meters rollout. Hopefully one of them will come our way. Zenith Bank showcases strong financials to exceed 1 trillion naira profit in 2024. It says our projected $30 billion revenue will boost naira value, according to Dangote. And on hunger, states get 20 trucks each as federal government shares 740 lorry loads of rice. Now, I heard that from the news bulletin earlier, Mike. You talked a bit about the lorry loads of rice being distributed.
This gives me lockdown vibes. That 2-3 years after, even 4 years after, we were still looking at warehouses where palliatives were stored and kept, some of them even spoiled. In fact, it got to a point where, I think it was in Jos, where where the people raided these warehouses. A lot of Nigerians, most in these leadership positions, are greedy and wicked. How do you cook packs of noodles and all of that? It's not like you're using it to do anything. And so, based on the precedent, what would happen this particular point in time? You say the most vulnerable. Who are the most? How do you determine the most vulnerable? We've heard different, the federal government has approved a particular amount to be shared to families of the most vulnerable or whatever, or 50,000 naira per family and all of that. And we ask the question, who are these most vulnerable people? If it's by percentage, how many people have BVNs? How are you taking this money? In the rural areas, how many of them bank? How many of them have their records in the database? And you are sharing this money via transfers. Doesn't that actually rule out the most vulnerable? What is the plan? So a lot of things are done without a see-through plan, without a holistic view, seeing the end from the beginning and see how it works. This rice and bags and all of that, it's no longer, in fact, people don't even think about it, they're expecting to see something. They'll just sit down and, someday you hear, it's just there. It's like flowing in the wind. Where is the accountability? When these things have gone out, how did it get to the people it was intended to get to?
That's the question. And in terms of families, the size of different families, it differs. There are some families that, I guess, I don't know how many members of each family they're making reference to when they say family, because a lot of homes are living with, like 6-7 children at a go.
During one particular point during lockdown, I got rice and gari. I don't know where it came from. Shadi went, they were sharing around the estate and all that. I saw rice and gari. I was like, okay, I am not among the most vulnerable. I feel like there are more people that need this more than me. Sure. But it was, I remember I made a little bit of a noise about it. I was like, okay, but would these people get to those people that are there? Like you said, different families, different sizes.
Yeah, different sizes, yeah.
The issue of money transfer and all of that, we've known different places where if it was 50,000 naira that was allocated to get to a family, find out that when it gets to the final person, for those who got it, maybe they got 10,000 naira. What happened? Along the way, you have gatekeepers. The money keeps reducing. Why?
Because why they can't do actual cash. Which is why the transfer thing is still
even with the transfer, it's not cash, transfer. I am telling you personally that this is even close to home. Where they said, okay, this particular amount is going to be given, and what finally gets to you through however you came to get about 10 to 15% of the total amount that was allocated by the federal government.
Yeah, apparently, of course, there are a lot of religious organizations, charity organizations who also distribute, should we use the term palliatives, regularly. Actually, I know of my church, we do a lot of different outreaches regularly, and we have a process, a structure put in place where it gets to these people in certain amounts. But I would really hope that we have more transparency in the distribution.
You know, apart from one thing about organizations like that is that apart from outreaches, do you also do in-reaches? You know, someone once said that charity begins at home. Do you also do in-reaches? Someone once said that you come out on social media, you want to give a lot to this. So how about your own house? Are there, do you understand?
People in your own
And that is where we also, as a people, need to look at ourselves. We do in-reaches. So that's also it.
Let's take the next paper. At this point, we have the Punch newspaper with us as well. OPS blames insecurity as food inflation hits 40.8%. Still a story on the details from the National Bureau of Statistics. NBS links inflation to rising prices of millet, gari, yam, fish, groundnut oil, and others. Nasima, LCCI, others blame insecurity, seek rural infrastructure investments. Court okays Kano Emirate law repeal, sacks Bayero, others. $1.8 billion fuel stolen from refineries in 9 years, according to Nieti. Excitement as UAE lifts visa ban on Nigerians. Never knew I would live to be 90, Wale Shoyinka.
The non-refundable fee for the visa application is over 600 and is almost about 650,000 naira. No, 680.
Non-refundable.
Yes.
Wow.
680, 690 approximately.
Wow.
It was 688 or so, and then there's
So if you really want to go to,
there's supposed to be a VAT of 500 naira or something. It is non-refundable. If you don't get the visa, you are not getting the money back.
So you really want to go to the UAE if you're going to pay for that visa. So it's probably, I guess it's a strategy.
Apply for it.
It's a strategy to limit the types of applicants that are going to be acceptable this time. Now, based on some of the activities, the truth is we knew Dubai we've always known Dubai to be a tourist destination, but with a feel like that, is it really about tourism anymore? I think it's now more about business.
No, now because you have a lot of people, we go there to, people go there to show themselves and all of that. When you have a lot of Nigerians who are involved in the vices, you understand?
Sure.
We've seen videos.
Sure.
We've seen lots of videos causing troubles there, and they tell you that we don't want you. Straight up. I have a friend who did a mini tour. I said, do you know the number of countries she was told straight up? Yeah. She was traveling with somebody. Both of them were together. That person sat down in the house on a laptop, applied for a visa, got it that same evening. Yeah. She went to the embassy, spent 2 or 3 days, and she was told straight up, we don't want you.
Wow. Sad. Very sad. Now, from a business point of view, if you have business investments and things like that, it's something you could think of as a means to an end. But for tourism, how far is that going to go? That's the question. It says here, Trump emerges Republican candidate, picks 39-year-old as running mate. Now, Trump has been in the news for the past week for many different reasons. I think you mentioned yesterday should I call it a failed assassination attempt?
Whatever it was.
Whatever it is being called, is being investigated as one. Thankfully, he's hale and healthy.
Yeah, because all the talk and all of that, you're now hearing stuff that, police snipers saw him on the roof before then. There's a lot they saw, they knew, so, and then you are wondering what's happening. All of you saw and all of you knew.
The truth is, the speculation is because Trump has always been known to be a showman. He has always wanted eyeballs. He has always been someone to put up a show.
Of course.
And the truth is, all the flack he's been getting in the news has given him a negative view. It was mostly negative in the beginning anyway, but the truth is, in comparison to his running mate, should I call him that? Running mate, yeah. Biden, at this point, it does seem like he is pushing forward because of what just happened, because of the unfortunate
that whole incident, we just give a bombastic side eye.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure, to be honest, and I
Okay,
don't want to speculate
bombastic side
too
eye.
much. But yeah, we still have another paper with us. We have the Nation newspaper as well. Nigeria to export petroleum products by December, says NNPCL. or rather Port Harcourt refineries begin operations next month. Food cost pushes inflation rate to 34.19%. IG stops enforcement of ECMR. That was actually a conversation I wanted to bring up. There was a deadline, I believe, of, I think, was it October for the ECMR? I stand to be corrected. But it was, no, I think it was end of July, end of July, not October. But I was a little apprehensive because I'm wondering, there's so many different certificates people stick on their car window these days. You have MOT, you have insurance, you have all sorts of vehicle registration documents. This additional one, what exactly is the premise behind it? That's the question. Now, stopping the enforcement of it is an interesting development. I will be watching that story to find out why. It says here also that UAE restarts visa issuance to Nigerians, OK's Airlines, and also talks about how illegal miners fuel insecurity, according to Abbas and CDS. Federal government shares 740 truckloads of rice to states. FEC directs quick action on CNG vehicles. I wanted to touch on this earlier, actually, the issue of CNG vehicles. We should actually touch on that. We had someone come talk about the conversion at one point.
I mean, globally, what are the standards now? There is a move towards electric vehicles.
Yeah.
The Lagos State government just yesterday entered into another partnership with CIG, and majority of the vehicles are electric vehicles. That's where the world is going. Yeah. Where are we going with CNG? Why do we talk about CNG at this particular point in time? We have government signing different pacts. Some people are going forward, some people are staying, and some people are this thing. We need to understand, we need to know. It is where it's going to, electric vehicles, and then some of these vehicles, before now, they're already hybrid vehicles. Vehicles that run on fuel and also electricity at different parts. I can convert and all of that. I don't know, with the CNG thing, I've never really been sold on it.
I'm actually interested. It's intriguing for me. It's interesting for me, especially since our electricity supply is not where it should be by now. Maybe once our supply of power gets to a particular point, maybe we can start thinking about public transport.
Power. If you get it, you go use your gen, they charge your car now.